I would like to combine my words of congratulation and commendation with some words of inquiry and challenge. What is the eventual place and purpose of the IB in developing societies and in a Muslim context? What can those worlds contribute to the IB community? And how can institutions which are rooted in different cultural traditions best work together to bridge worlds that have too often been widely separated? As a point of departure in addressing these questions, I would turn to those words from my grandfather, which were quoted in 2 earlier Peterson lectures. He included them in a speech he gave as President of the League of Nations in Geneva some 70 years ago. They come originally from the Persian poet Saadi, who wrote, "The children of Adam, created of the self-same clay, are members of one body. When one member suffers, all members suffer likewise. O thou, who art indifferent to the suffering of the fellow, thou art unworthy to be called a man." You will readily understand why such words seem appropriate for a Peterson lecture. They speak of the fundamental value of a universal human bond, a gift of the Creator, which both requires and validates our efforts to educate for global citizenship. I would also like to quote an infinitely more powerful statement about the unity of mankind, because it comes directly from the Holy Quran, and which I would ask you to think about. The Holy Quran addresses itself not only to Muslims, but to the entirety of the human race, when it says, "O mankind, be careful of your duty to your Lord, who created you from one single soul, and from it created its mate, and from them twain has spread abroad a multitude of men and women." These words reflect a deeply spiritual insight, a divine imperative, if you will, which in my view should undergird our educational commitments. It is because we see humankind, despite its differences, as children of God and born from one soul, that we insist on reaching beyond traditional boundaries as we deliberate, communicate, and educate internationally.
To mark this very special occasion of the Golden Jubilee Jamaat Institutional Dinner, Hazrat Imam, we seek permission to submit, I think, a small memento. It is a hologram of a lamp, and within the lamp is the source of light, which is in the shape of a rope. And on the rope are written the names of the Imam, from Hazrat Ali on the bottom left to Hazrat Imam on the top left. And at the top, in the shape of a flame, are the words, "In the 50th year of his Imamat, 2008-1428. And floating about 2 feet in front of the plane of the hologram is the Surah Nur. A hologram has rather unique features. If you were to take that holographic plate and shatter it, and pick up a piece and illuminate it from the light from which it was created, you would see the whole image. Not a fragment or a part, but the whole message. And for the message to be seen, it has to be illuminated from the light from which it was originally created. Otherwise, as you saw earlier this evening, you see a blank plate. The holographic universe, and those that now aspire to the holographic theory, suggest that the human brain is a hologram. It contains all of the information of the original from which it was created. But that information can only be seen if illuminated by the light from which it was originally created.
During this evening, I've been asking myself how I could organize my life to have another Jubilee tomorrow. All through this visit, I have been spoilt many times in many ways, but spoilt particularly by the wonderful success of my jamaat in North America and in the United States. I have always thought that jamaat in this country would play a very special role in the future of the jamaat worldwide, because this country is the leader in the knowledge society. I think that there probably isn't an area of human endeavor in which we do not have today a murid who is exceptional in his own or her own field. And when I make the appointments to the Jamaati positions, I ask myself, how many more wonderful murids, young people getting wonderful education, will come forward and be able to serve the Jamaat? And I wanted to say particularly this evening my immense gratitude for the generosity, the material generosity, and the time and knowledge that the Jamaat has pledged to the future of our global Jamaat. There is nothing more important than sharing knowledge. And I have worked for many years now to try to ensure that the countries where the Jamaat lives, wherever they live, are countries of opportunity, countries of hope, countries of stability. And I will be looking to my Jamaat in the United States to help build opportunity for these Jamaats in other countries where there is opportunity. Make no mistake, there is opportunity. And I did not have an opportunity to express my enormous gratitude to the young men and women who put up such a wonderful entertainment performance this evening. For me, this joy is enormous, because I'm so happy when I see various traditions in the Jamaat from various parts of the world, and indeed new creation coming forward, and in which we can all participate and enjoy what we see. So I'd like to congratulate all the artists for the wonderful work that they have done, and I understand that they have come from all over the United States. So the harmonization of their presentations was absolutely wonderful. I congratulate them and I thank them.
My dear sisters and brothers, Ya Ali Madad, on behalf of all the Jamaati institutions, Mukhi Sahibs, Gamriya Sahibs, Mukhyanimas and Kamranimas, I would like to wish you all a happy new year. I pray that this new year brings us peace, happiness, and prosperity. For so many of us, 2020 will undoubtedly bring up difficult memories. From losing our loved ones, financial uncertainty, illness, loneliness, and the inability to come together in our Jamaat Khanas. We have suffered both individually and collectively. Although it has been extremely hard this year has also reconfirmed our capacity to manage and adapt in times of extraordinary change and difficulty. And so, I sincerely hope 2020 will serve as a source of confidence in our strength and resilience to face new challenges. It has been truly inspiring to witness the way in which the global community has been united by a common purpose. From staying at home, shielding, to serving on the front line, each one of us has made personal sacrifices in order to play our part in the global fight against this pandemic. In the face of this challenge, individuals, organizations, and businesses have adapted in novel ways, fostering creativity and innovation, showing a willingness to challenge established ways of working. Sometimes it takes a crisis, a burning platform, to fundamentally shift how we think and do things. For example, the leaps we have taken in the way we have communicated, socialized, and working using technology is something that might otherwise have taken years to achieve. Indeed, we should be mindful that some of these changes are here to stay as we start to shape our new normal. For me, every new year is an opportunity to reset. And so, as we leave 2020, there are 3 key learnings that I hope to take from this unique year into 2021 and the years to come. The first of these is the nature of humanity. Although this virus has impacted us in many different ways, some much more than others, it is worth noting that the impact of this virus has transcended borders, race, gender, age, wealth, culture, and more. It has clearly demonstrated that at the core of our humanity, we come from one soul. We are all one and the same. This year has not only been defined by the coronavirus pandemic, but also by the birth of a long overdue, widespread conversation about diversity, equality, and inclusion. As we move forward, this is a conversation that should take center stage and inspire the Jamaat, given the extent to which our faith and the teachings of our Imam are rooted in the ideas of pluralism and fairness. The second lesson is the idea of simplicity. At the beginning of this pandemic, I started going on daily walks. In the absence of the usual commotion and traffic, I became aware of the melodic singing of the birds, the gentle sound of rustling leaves, and the air on my face. In those moments, I felt a sense of peace, and I realized how much I had been taking for granted the calming beauty of Allah's creation. Indeed, lockdowns and limited physical connections have pushed us to rediscover friendships, cooking skills, reading, volunteering, and other such modest activities and forgotten hobbies. We have experienced happiness in the simple things in life. Despite all that has been happening around us, the seasons continue to change. The sun rises each morning, buds bloom into flowers, and rainbows appear after storms. I pray these have offered us all a sense of comfort and hope in the times of darkness. My final takeaway is the notion of submission. With the unprecedented events of this last year comes another reminder that the human race is not infallible. We are created by the Almighty, to whom we submit and pray to for mercy and grace. With this submission also comes a reminder that we have a duty of care to ourselves and to all those around us. It is incumbent upon each one of us to live a life rooted in faith and guided by our ethics and values. As we move into this next year, it will remain critical to hold on to these principles so as to remain resilient in the challenges we face. Before I end, I want to express my sincere gratitude to all my fellow institutional leaders, Mukhi Kamriya Saibans, and all the volunteers for everything you have done this year. You have all stepped up and engaged wholeheartedly and selflessly in redefining our ways of working and operating. You have ensured that despite our physical separation, our community has remained united, connected, and supported. And to all the members of our jamaat, thank you for adapting and engaging. When reflecting on the nature of our seva in our community, I realize that the service of all our volunteers is not an act that is conducted in solo, but rather an offering of the entire family, without whom our work would not be possible. And so, to all of you, I would like to say thank you. As Maulana Hazar Imam said in his Salgira message, and I quote, "I am very pleased with the excellent work of my volunteers throughout the world to support the Jamaat and the communities amongst whom they live. And to all my volunteers, I convey my greatest admiration and best affectionate loving blessings." Unquote. As we celebrate this new year, let us keep faith and remember that this is a time for hope, for optimism, and renewal, even in times of uncertainty. I end by wishing Maulana Hazar Imam and his family a very happy new year and pray for the good health and happiness of our Imam and his family. Let us offer our humble shukrana to our beloved Imam for his benevolence, continued guidance and support, and remember that our Imam is always by our side. I leave you with Maulana Hazar Imam's message in March 2020, when he said, and I quote, "Please convey my best paternal and my best maternal loving blessings to my worldwide Jamaat and tell them that I think of them every minute of the day, each day, and I pray for Mushkil Asan and for their peace and happiness." Unquote. Happy New Year once again to each and every one of you. Ya Ali Madad.